Boss Season 3 is looking like it's going to be a wild ride, so here are my predictions on what we're going to get. First, let's talk about what we know. This season is going to be divided into two parts, which honestly I think is for the best. Yes, the first part will undoubtedly end on a cliffhanger and will drive us mad, but this will also draw out the hype, the theories, and more importantly, means that we're going to get the first half of the season sooner than we would otherwise. I'm totally okay with waiting a little longer later for the second half of the season in the trade-off of getting the first half this year. We also know from Brandon that this is going to be a really rough season for Blitz, which makes a lot of sense because he got a lot of character development last season, so this season I'm expecting to see him deflecting a little less and taking things a little harder. Which is such a great reward for all of the progress he's made! More pain! Yay, because he hasn't suffered enough. In all seriousness, I think this will be good for him in the long run. One of those the only way out is through kind of things. Blitz has been avoiding a lot of his trauma, and I think this season will force him to confront a lot of it head on. I do think this means that we can expect to see some more of Barbie, maybe not in the first half of the season because it looks like there's already a lot going on, but maybe in the second half. Her short sets up that she's in a really rough place right now, and though she may be resistant to it at first, I think Blitz is probably going to be the one to help her out of it. Maybe Fizz will even encourage her to go to him, since it seems like they're still close, and he's already gone through the journey of forgiving Blitz. But speaking of things that got released last month, I have some thoughts on the trailer that we got. Starting with the obvious, Millie's little speech to Stolas was something I didn't know I needed, but I think the rest of I.M.P bonding with him is going to be really good for him. We know that Stolas has never really thought much of any imp other than Blitz, so it probably didn't even occur to him in Mastermind that he was also helping them. But I think this conversation will probably be a wake-up call for him. This will be the start of him seeing I.M.P as more than just Blitz's employees, but as people who his actions have impacted, both positively and negatively. And I think the support of people who he was always dismissive of will in some ways mean even more than the support of Blitz. And Stolas is definitely going to need all the support he can get, because not only did he lose his title and power, but it looks like things are also heating up with the divorce proceedings. From the look of this judge, it looks like this will be taking place in I.M.P, which I'm really excited about because it's one of the only rings we haven't seen yet. Also, this makes a lot of sense because like, one of the main things about divorce is trying to get more out of it than the other person, and we know this is Stella's goal, so envy, it's about envying what another person has. It makes a lot of sense for divorce proceedings. It's also worth noting that there is a camera in the background, implying that this is being aired to the rest of Hell. Not really surprising, since a goetic divorce is a big deal, and it seems like not really heard of, but I think this will be really significant considering where last season left Stolas. Hell, especially imps, hate Stolas right now because he took the fall in Mastermind. So you just know that all of Hell is going to be watching this case, rooting against Stolas, and that's going to take its toll on him. In the shot, we can see Stolas is having a really rough time of it. In the trailer, it's framed so that it looks like he's reacting to this shot of Octavia here, but the lighting is different, so I'm not convinced. However, I wouldn't be surprised if these tears are over Via regardless, because I don't know what else would cause him to break down like this. I do also want to note that this shot of Stolas and Blitz is in front of the same artwork Stolas was crying in front of, so it looks like Blitz shows up to support and comfort him. Which, since this is being broadcast, I wonder if we're going to get a Mastermind parallel of Blitz watching the court proceedings and seeing Stolas having a really rough time of it, and then just rushing to him to help and support him. I'm actually kind of wondering, and this is just me going out on a limb here, if this shot of Blitz and Fizz is Fizz sharing his relationship expertise with Blitz and offering to bring him to Stolas' rescue. This scene takes place in Imp City in Pride, which is not where Fizz lives, so he's almost certainly picking Blitz up here. Also, this isn't another instance of Blitz being Fizz's bodyguard because he already has a bodyguard in the back of the car. I bet Asmodeus wouldn't even let him leave without one after what happened with Stryker. This could, of course, be completely unrelated to the whole thing with Stolas. I just think it would be really cute if Fizz just rolls up like, "Come on, Buxo, let's go get your man." Another possibility, though, is that it has something to do with this insane-looking Robo-Fizz. Maybe Mammon is trying to damage Fizz's reputation with his leftover Fizz toys and Fizz goes to Blitz for help. I really don't know what to make of this thing. Now, this is just a cute little thing, but can we take a moment to talk about Blitz showing up with this plant? He doesn't keep plants in his home that we've seen, but you know who does? Stolas. Blitz totally picked this up to make Stolas feel more at home, and it is just adorable. I also just love that we're definitely going to get some filler episodes that show Stolas just casually working with I.M.P. I'm so excited to see him come into his own and see how his relationship with the rest of the team develops. And we're also going to get teenage Stolas? It looks like this is him and Visago, so that will be great to see more of their relationship because I'm really curious about it. I also just love the look of young, edgy Stolas here, and it makes me wonder if this flashback is him talking to Via and maybe trying to relate to her, sharing some of his struggles that he had when he was her age. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb with a theory for this shot of Blitz dropping Stolas off at his old palace. Stolas is back in his regal clothes here, but from all the eyes, the palace is very clearly still in Androlphus' hands. So what is Stolas doing here? It's possible that there's some kind of event or something going on at the palace and he's trying to take this opportunity to go see Via. But let's take a look at what Blitz is wearing. He's dressed like a waiter or a butler. That wouldn't really be much to go off of, but this isn't the only time we see him wearing this outfit in the trailer. Here we see him wearing it to practice what looks like a method of infiltrating somewhere. So what if Stolas is just the distraction here, while Blitz infiltrates the palace and tries to, I don't know, maybe steal evidence to use against Stella in the divorce? If this is the case, I really hope that Blitz runs into Octavia and then has to convince her that he's there to help Stolas, and so she puts aside her totally justified grudge against him to help him. But this is my wild swing with very little evidence. The last thing in the trailer is this shot of Loona at what looks to be one of Beelzebub's parties, talking to someone off screen, saying, "Us losers gotta stick together." Can I just say that I love the confidence we're seeing in Loona here? She has come so far since her first party. Also, while I have no idea why Octavia would be here, I really hope she's who she's talking to. I just don't know who else she would be saying this to. We've already seen her kind of take on a big sister role with Via, and it makes a lot of sense that something like this would be directed at her, and I really want to see them bonding as sisters. The last thing I want to talk about is the potential for crossovers this season. We know that there will be characters crossing over between Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss, and I'm pretty sure this season is our first real opportunity for us to see it happen. Now, it might not happen until the later half of the season, but I would honestly be surprised if we don't get some kind of crossover at some points. If there's a whole episode dealing with the Fizz bots, then I guess that's potential to bring in the V's since they have one, although Kitty did get pretty banged up in season 2. Well, that's it for today. Until next time, stay hyper.